My wife said we're just friends. Then I found the hotel receipt. Then the final story will be started. I, 34, male, work in logistics, the kind of job where you live by schedules, receipts, and signatures. My wife, 32, teaches at a private middle school. From the outside, we look normal, in that boring, dependable way. 2 cars, a rented townhouse, dinners that rotated between takeout, and whatever we felt guilty enough to cook. We've been married 7 years. No kids, not for any dramatic reason. Just timing, money, maybe next year. The thing about schedules is you start noticing when they change. It wasn't dramatic at first. A late meeting here. A staff dinner there. Her phone on silent more often. She used to complain about co-workers like it was a hobby. Suddenly, there was one co-worker she never complained about. When I asked, she said, he's fine. We're just friends. That line came up more than once. One night in the kitchen, I said, you've been on your phone a lot lately. She didn't look up. It's nothing. Nothing usually doesn't make you smile like that. She sighed, like I was the one making a scene. It's just a friend from work. We talk. That's allowed, right? Sure, I said. Friends are allowed. She finally looked up. Good, because that's all it is. We're just friends. I wanted that to be the end of it. A few weeks later, I was doing laundry and found a small white slip in the pocket of her jacket. Hotel logo at the top. Date. Room number. 2 nights. Not in our city. About an hour away. I stared at it longer than I should have, then did the dumbest thing and put it back. Told myself it was old, or a work thing, or not mine to jump to conclusions about. That night, she came home late. I asked, casually, did you have some kind of training or conference recently? She froze for half a second. No. Why? Just curious. Same old stuff, she said and went to shower. A week later, I checked our shared credit card statement, looking for a mechanic charge, and there it was. Same hotel, same city, 2 nights. The date matched the weekend she'd said she was helping with after-school stuff and staying at a friend's place. My name was on that card. So was hers. I didn't confront her right away. I started paying attention. The phone had a passcode now. Calls in the other room. If I walked in, the call ended. She slept with her phone face down. Sometimes she'd get up early and text in the kitchen, so she wouldn't wake me. I checked older statements. 2 more hotel charges. Same place. One night, she said she had a late meeting. I waited 10 minutes and followed. Not chasing, just keeping distance. She didn't go to school. She went toward the highway and exited near that same city. I parked across from the hotel. I didn't go in. I didn't need to. About 20 minutes later, another car pulled in. A car I'd seen in our driveway once or twice. The co-worker's car. They walked in together, like this was normal. The next morning, she came home acting tired and annoyed, kissed my cheek, asked if I wanted eggs, and told me about a long meeting that went nowhere. That weekend, I said we should go over finances. I showed her the statements. The charges. She said, that must be a mistake. A mistake that happened 3 times? Why are you digging into this? Because my name is on the card. So what? You think I'm doing something wrong? I think you're spending money on hotels. For work. With him. Stop saying that. I followed you. You what? I followed you. You went to that hotel. He met you there. She didn't deny it. She said, you invaded my privacy. You used our card. We're just friends. Friends don't need hotel rooms. You don't get to control me. I'm not trying to control you. I'm trying to understand why my wife is lying to me. She said, nothing happened. Then why lie? Because you wouldn't understand. I said, okay. She blinked. Okay. If nothing happened and you're just friends, then we should talk to a lawyer about separating finances, just to be safe. She stood up and left. This time she didn't come back for 2 days. On the 3rd day, she texted, we need space. You're being controlling. I'm staying with a friend. I called a lawyer. He told me to document everything, not leave the house, and move only my paycheck into a separate account. I did exactly that. She came back and acted like I was a problem. Then I got an email from her lawyer asking for temporary support and exclusive use of the house. She wanted me out. My lawyer said, don't leave. She tried small things first. Locked the bedroom and put my clothes in boxes. Changed the Wi-Fi password. Told mutual friends I was unstable. Then she brought her mother over and sat me down like this was an intervention. Her mother said, you're being unreasonable. My wife said, if you keep this up, I'll tell people you're emotionally abusive. I'll say I don't feel safe. No police report. No evidence. Just words. A week later, she filed for temporary orders. Then she tried for a restraining order, claiming I was harassing her and monitoring her. The evidence was me asking where she was and admitting I'd followed her once. The judge denied it. Not enough there. After that, she switched tactics and started being nice. Too nice. Cooking. Talking about resetting. I said, reset to what? The version where you stay at hotels and tell me you're just friends. She said I was throwing everything away. Around then, I noticed something else in the accounts. Small regular transfers to a name I didn't recognize. Not hotels. Not food. I traced them to a small LLC registered near that same city. The managing member wasn't her. It was him. She was listed too. Quietly. Recently. The transfer started around the same time as the hotel charges. I sent everything to my lawyer. He said, this changes things. We added it to our filings. Dates, amounts, registrations. Not accusations. Just records. Suddenly, her lawyer wanted to revisit settlement. Suddenly, the house wasn't so important. She asked me, what did you do? I told the truth, I said. Then she tried another move. An anonymous complaint went to my work, saying I was unstable. My manager called me in. I told him the situation in simple terms. Showed him the court papers, and that was it. No drama. A few days later, my lawyer called and asked, did you know she co-signed a loan? For what? For his business. Using joint funds as collateral, before the accounts were frozen. That explained the urgency. The hotels weren't just an affair. They were part of a plan. She wasn't just cheating. She was building an exit, using our money. We filed an emergency motion. The judge froze certain accounts and ordered no financial moves without approval. She lost it, accused me of trying to destroy her life. I said, "You did that part yourself." Then he called me, the coworker, the business partner. He said she told him I was fine with the investment and the trips, that we were basically done. He said she told him the money was hers. He admitted the business wasn't doing well and asked if I'd agree to unfreeze money. I said no. The hearing on finances came before the final divorce. The judge asked simple questions. Did she disclose the business? No. Did she use joint funds? Yes. Did I consent? No. Did she tell her partner the money was hers? Yes. The judge ruled that the money she'd spent on the business and the hotels would be counted against her share of the marital assets. He also kept the restrictions in place. The business didn't survive. When the funds stayed frozen and the loan payments fell behind, it collapsed. She called me and asked me to agree to unfreeze some money, just temporarily. I said no. That wasn't spite. That was me not fixing what I didn't break. At the final divorce hearing, most of it was already decided. The house was sold. The equity was split, minus what she'd already burned through and minus what the judge said she owed back to the marital pot. My retirement stayed mine. She ended up with a lot less than she expected, not because I asked for revenge, but because she'd already spent it. Her lawyer tried one last angle about some hotel stays being work-related. The dates didn't match any business records. The judge said he'd heard enough. We signed in separate rooms. A few months later, I ran into her at a grocery store. We stood in the same aisle pretending to read labels. She said, "You look fine." "I am," I said. She said, "I didn't think you'd really go through with it." "That's kind of the problem," I said. "You never thought I would." We walked away in opposite directions. When I look back at that line, we're just friends. I don't even think about the lie. I think about how many decisions fit inside it. Hotels, money, stories, plans. People don't usually blow up their lives in one move. They do it in small, confident steps and assume someone else will handle consequences. This time, no one did. And if you made it all the way through this like it's a series and you're waiting for the next episode, don't worry. This one's already canceled. But if you want more stories where bad plans meet their receipts, you know what to do. Subscribe, because apparently some people would do anything except read their own warning signs.